Risk. It's a word that can make people's palms sweat and hearts race. For many, the mere thought of stepping out of their comfort zone evokes a sense of dread, especially when it involves finances. Yet, the ability to take risks is often the invisible bridge between struggling to make ends meet and achieving financial independence. Why do some people seem to embrace risk with open arms, while others shy away from it as if it were a life-threatening storm? The answer lies deep in psychology, financial understanding, and cultural conditioning. The difference between broke individuals and wealthy ones often boils down to how they perceive and manage risk. But how can this understanding transform your outlook? Let's uncover the truth behind the fear of risk and why some use it as a stepping stone while others see it as a stumbling block. At the heart of this aversion to risk is a fundamental psychological phenomenon known as loss aversion. Imagine feeling the sting of losing $100 far more intensely than the joy of gaining the same amount. This concept, explored by Nobel laureates Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, explains why broke individuals are so hesitant to take risks. With limited resources, any potential loss feels magnified. If losing even a small amount means falling behind on rent or groceries, the fear becomes overwhelming. This isn't just caution, it's survival instinct in overdrive. For someone living paycheck to paycheck, avoiding risk feels like the only logical choice, even if it means missing out on potential opportunities for growth. Fear replaces curiosity, and stability takes precedence over ambition. On the other hand, the wealthy often operate with an entirely different psychological framework. For them, risk isn't an emotional gamble, but a calculated decision. They weigh potential outcomes, focusing on the benefits while actively working to mitigate the downsides. This isn't to say they lack fear, but they've developed tools and strategies to manage it. Their financial stability provides a buffer, allowing them to see risks as stepping stones rather than pitfalls. This mindset shift, from fearing loss to seeking gain, is a cornerstone of why the wealthy view risk as a friend rather than a foe. But psychology alone doesn't tell the whole story. Another critical factor is the stark contrast in financial literacy and access to resources. For those struggling financially, understanding concepts like diversification, compound interest, or market trends can feel as foreign as learning a new language. Without this knowledge, even moderate risks appear insurmountable. If you've ever heard someone say, "I can't afford to invest in stocks, it's too risky," they're likely speaking from a place of fear and misunderstanding. Without a safety net or the ability to absorb losses, the stakes of taking a chance seem unbearably high. Why gamble with what little you have when the consequences of failure could be devastating? Wealthy individuals, in contrast, often have access to resources that make risk less intimidating. This doesn't just mean money, though having capital certainly helps. It includes networks, mentors, and financial advisors who guide them through complex decisions. Their education in financial matters equips them to see opportunities where others see obstacles. They know how to analyze risks, diversify their investments, and create safety nets to cushion any potential falls. This doesn't eliminate risk, but it makes it manageable and, most importantly, worthwhile. It's not just individual understanding that shapes these attitudes. Cultural and social conditioning play a significant role as well. Many people who struggle financially grow up in environments where risk is synonymous with danger. Parents and elders, often driven by their own experiences, may encourage their children to play it safe, stick to stable jobs, avoid debt, and steer clear of anything uncertain. This well-meaning advice can inadvertently create a fear of stepping outside the comfort zone, discouraging entrepreneurial or innovative thinking. Breaking away from this conditioning can feel like going against a deeply ingrained rulebook. Wealthy individuals often grow up in an entirely different environment. They are more likely to witness examples of risk-taking in action, whether through family members starting businesses, investing in ventures, or even failing and bouncing back stronger. In these circles, risk is normalized, even celebrated. It becomes part of the process of achieving success, not a dangerous detour. This cultural backdrop instills a belief that risks are not just necessary, but can be rewarding if approached wisely. Even societal attitudes play a role. In some regions, failure is stigmatized, discouraging risk. Yet in other places, such as Silicon Valley, failure is worn like a badge of honor, a sign of effort and resilience. This difference in cultural norms can shape how individuals perceive the consequences of taking a chance. Another major roadblock for broke individuals is the scarcity mindset. a psychological trap that convinces people that resources are limited and must be conserved at all costs. This mindset creates a paradox. Avoiding risks might feel like the safest choice, but it often leads to stagnation. Take, for example, someone who saves every penny in a low-interest bank account, fearing the potential losses of investing in the stock market. While this approach preserves their savings in the short term, it also limits the potential for those savings to grow. The scarcity mindset focuses on what can be lost rather than what might be gained. Contrast this with the abundance mindset that many wealthy individuals adopt. They view opportunities as plentiful and challenges as temporary. This perspective allows them to see risks as chances to grow rather than threats to their stability. They focus on the bigger picture, recognizing that calculated risks are essential to achieving long-term goals. For them, even a setback is simply a lesson, not the end of the road. However, it's important to distinguish between calculated risks and reckless risks, a distinction that often separates success from failure. Broke individuals, when they do take risks, sometimes do so impulsively, without proper planning or preparation. Whether it's jumping into a high-stakes business venture without research or gambling on get-rich-quick schemes, these decisions often backfire, reinforcing their fear of risk. Recklessness, fueled by desperation or lack of knowledge, can lead to significant losses and further entrench the cycle of financial struggle. Wealthy individuals, on the other hand, embrace calculated risks. They don't dive in blind. They carefully evaluate potential outcomes, weigh the pros and cons, and prepare contingency plans. They diversify their investments, ensuring that even if one venture fails, their overall financial health remains secure. By doing so, they shift the odds in their favor, turning risk into a strategic tool rather than a gamble. The rewards of embracing risk are evident not just in financial terms, but also in personal and professional growth. Risk opens doors that staying safe can never unlock. Take entrepreneurship as an example. Starting a business involves inherent risks of time, money, and reputation. Yet, it has been the primary driver of wealth for countless individuals. Investing follows a similar pattern. While the stock market, real estate, or other ventures carry uncertainty, they also offer the potential for significant long-term growth. The wealthy understand this trade-off and are willing to weather short-term fluctuations for long-term gains. But the rewards of risk-taking aren't limited to finances. They extend to self-development. Every risk taken is an opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow. Whether it's stepping into a new career, acquiring a new skill, or forming new connections, taking risks helps individuals expand their horizons and discover untapped potential. Wealthy individuals recognize that this growth often lies just outside their comfort zones, motivating them to embrace challenges rather than shy away from them. For those who currently fear risk, transforming that fear into confidence is not an overnight process, but a journey worth undertaking. The first step is education. Learning about financial concepts and risk management empowers individuals to make informed decisions. Starting small is another effective strategy. Whether it's investing a modest amount or experimenting with a low-stakes business idea, small wins build confidence. Creating a financial safety net, such as an emergency fund, also reduces the perceived danger of taking risks, providing a cushion for the unexpected. Reframing failure is another critical step. Instead of viewing failure as catastrophic, it can be seen as a learning experience, a stepping stone toward success. Surrounding yourself with individuals who embrace risk can also make a world of difference. Their stories and experiences provide inspiration and guidance, showing that risk, when approached wisely, leads to growth. In the end, the fear of risk doesn't have to dictate your financial future. It's a natural response to uncertainty, but it's also a challenge that can be overcome. While broke individuals often avoid risk out of fear, the wealthy see it as an essential ingredient for success. By shifting your mindset, gaining knowledge, and taking deliberate steps, you can begin to embrace risk in a way that leads to transformative growth. After all, fortune truly does favor the bold. Those who dare to take risks, learn from their failures, and keep pushing forward are the ones who unlock the doors to lasting success. Will you be bold enough to take that step?